Welcome to our channel where health and nutrition are our passions. Today, we're addressing a crucial aspect of cardiovascular health with our video, High Blood Pressure Diet, 10 Foods You Should Never Eat. If you're concerned about managing or preventing high blood pressure, this list is especially for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more valuable health insights. Now, let's start our countdown and learn which foods to avoid for better blood pressure management. Kicking off our countdown at number 10, we turn our attention to soft drinks. These beverages are often high in sugar and provide a significant amount of empty calories, which offer little to no nutritional value. This can have a substantial impact on health, particularly concerning weight management and blood pressure. The issue with soft drinks primarily stems from their high sugar content. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlights a worrying connection between regular consumption of sugary soft drinks and an increased risk of metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. Both of these conditions are closely linked to the development of hypertension or high blood pressure. The study suggests that the excess sugar intake from soft drinks can contribute to these health issues, potentially due to the impact on insulin resistance and weight gain. Moreover, the empty calories in these beverages can lead to weight gain over time. Excess weight is a major risk factor for developing high blood pressure, a condition that places extra strain on your heart and arteries and can lead to serious cardiovascular problems if left unaddressed. To maintain better health and reduce the risk of hypertension, it's advisable to limit your intake of soft drinks. Opting for healthier options like water, herbal teas, or natural fruit juices in moderation can help manage your calorie intake and support overall health. At number 9, we're highlighting coffee, a staple in many of our daily routines. While coffee is cherished worldwide and comes with its own set of benefits, it's crucial to be aware of how caffeine, its primary active ingredient, can affect blood pressure. Caffeine is known to cause temporary increases in blood pressure, and this effect has been confirmed by various studies, including one published in the Journal of Hypertension. This particular study observed that caffeine could lead to short-term spikes in blood pressure, a phenomenon that occurs because caffeine blocks a hormone responsible for keeping our arteries widened. Interestingly, the study noted that the blood pressure response to caffeine is more pronounced in individuals who are not habitual caffeine consumers. For those who regularly enjoy coffee, there might be a reduced sensitivity to this effect as their bodies develop a certain level of tolerance. For people with hypertension, high blood pressure, understanding how caffeine affects them is important. While the impact of caffeine can vary from person to person, those who are sensitive to it or have existing blood pressure concerns may need to monitor their coffee intake more closely. It's advisable to watch for any changes in blood pressure after consuming caffeinated beverages and discuss them with a healthcare provider. Coffee's relationship with health is multifaceted as it contains numerous compounds beyond caffeine, including antioxidants. But when it comes to blood pressure, moderation and personal health awareness are key. Landing at number 8 on our list are pickles. While they're a popular side dish and snack, many of us might not realize just how high in sodium they can be. This makes them a potentially hidden risk, especially for those who are keeping an eye on their blood pressure. Pickles are often preserved in a brine solution that's heavy in salt, which is where their high sodium content comes from. Consuming foods high in sodium can lead to an increase in blood pressure as it causes the body to retain more water. This extra water raises blood pressure because it adds to the blood flowing through your veins and arteries. For individuals with hypertension or at risk for heart disease, managing sodium intake is crucial. High blood pressure is a leading risk factor for heart disease and stroke, and keeping it under control is vital for long-term health. If you enjoy pickles, it might be wise to consider them as an occasional treat rather than a regular part of your diet, or to look for low-sodium options. Also, paying attention to the serving size can help you keep your overall sodium intake in check. Remember, it's often the small, everyday choices that add up to make a big impact on our health. By being mindful of such hidden sources of sodium, you can take a proactive step toward managing your blood pressure and supporting your cardiovascular health. Number 7 on our list brings us to red meat. While red meat can be a valuable source of nutrients like protein, iron, and vitamin B12, it's the regular consumption of fatty cuts that can pose a health risk, particularly concerning hypertension and heart disease. Fatty cuts of red meat are high in saturated fats. A diet rich in saturated fats can lead to an increase in LDL cholesterol, commonly known as bad cholesterol. Elevated levels of LDL cholesterol can contribute to the buildup of plaques in your arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This buildup can narrow the arteries, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Moreover, regular consumption of high-fat red meats is linked to an increased risk of hypertension or high blood pressure. Hypertension puts additional strain on your heart and blood vessels and is one of the leading risk factors for heart disease. It's important to note that moderation is key. You don't necessarily have to eliminate red meat from your diet, but rather be mindful of the type and quantity you consume. Opting for leaner cuts of meat and reducing the frequency of consumption can make a significant difference. Including a variety of other protein sources in your diet, such as fish, poultry, beans, and lentils, can also contribute to a more heart-healthy eating pattern. Number 6 on our list highlights the impact of fried foods on health. While they are undeniably delicious and often hard to resist, these foods come with a significant downside, particularly regarding their content of unhealthy fats and high calorie count. Regular consumption of fried foods is linked to several health issues, including obesity and high blood pressure. Frying food typically involves cooking it in a significant amount of oil, which can lead to a high content of unhealthy fats, especially if the oil used is high in saturated or trans fats. These types of fats can raise LDL, bad cholesterol levels in your blood, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. Additionally, fried foods are often calorie-dense, meaning they pack a lot of calories in small servings. This high-calorie content can contribute to weight gain and obesity, particularly if these foods are eaten in large portions or very frequently. Obesity is a major risk factor for hypertension, high blood pressure, a condition that puts additional strain on the heart and arteries. To maintain a healthier diet and reduce the risk of these health problems, it's advisable to limit the intake of fried foods. Opting for cooking methods like baking, grilling, or steaming can be healthier alternatives that are lower in fat and calories. Landing at number 5 on our list are sugary foods. The excessive intake of sugar is a major dietary concern in modern eating habits. While sweet treats can be tempting, it's important to be aware of the health implications of consuming too much sugar. One of the primary consequences of high sugar consumption is weight gain. Sugary foods are often high in calories but low in nutritional value, which means they can contribute to an increase in body weight without providing essential nutrients. When these foods are consumed frequently and in large amounts, they can lead to obesity. Obesity, in turn, is closely linked to the development of hypertension or high blood pressure. Carrying excess weight forces your heart to work harder to circulate blood throughout your body, which can increase the pressure on your artery walls. Over time, this added strain on your cardiovascular system can lead to hypertension, a condition that significantly increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. To maintain a healthier diet and reduce the risk of obesity and hypertension, it's advisable to limit your intake of sugary foods. Opting for natural sources of sweetness like fruits and being mindful of the sugar content in processed foods can help keep your sugar intake in check. At number 4, we're focusing on the role of alcohol, specifically in blood pressure management. Alcohol is a substance that, when consumed in moderation, can be part of a balanced lifestyle for some individuals. However, it's the excessive consumption of alcohol that poses significant health risks, including long-term issues with blood pressure. Drinking alcohol in large quantities or binge drinking can lead to an immediate rise in blood pressure. Over time, habitual excessive drinking can lead to sustained high blood pressure known as hypertension. This is due to alcohol's effects on the cardiovascular system and its ability to alter the normal functioning of blood vessels, leading to increased pressure on artery walls. Furthermore, excessive alcohol intake can contribute to weight gain and obesity due to its high calorie content. As we discussed earlier, obesity is a significant risk factor for hypertension and can compound the blood pressure-raising effects of heavy alcohol use. For those who choose to drink, it's important to do so in moderation. The definition of moderate drinking can vary, but it generally means up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men. Staying within these limits can help minimize the risk of developing high blood pressure and other alcohol-related health issues. Number 3 on our list brings us to canned soups. While they are often seen as a convenient and comforting meal option, many canned soups come with a hidden health cost. They are typically high in sodium. This excess sodium content can pose a significant risk to your blood pressure. Sodium is a key factor in managing blood pressure. Consuming high levels of sodium can lead to water retention in the body, which in turn increases blood pressure by adding more volume to the blood circulating through your veins and arteries. Over time, consistently high sodium intake can contribute to the development of hypertension, high blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Unfortunately, many canned soups contain large amounts of added salt, both for flavor and as a preservative, making them one of the less obvious sources of high sodium in many diets. For those monitoring their blood pressure or looking to maintain a heart-healthy diet, being aware of the sodium content in canned soups is crucial. When choosing canned soups, it's advisable to look for labels that indicate low sodium or reduced salt. Better yet, consider making homemade soups where you can control the amount of salt added. This way, you can still enjoy the comfort and convenience of soup without the high sodium content that comes with many canned varieties. Number 2 on our list addresses processed meats, which are often high in sodium and various preservatives. These foods include popular items like deli meats, sausages, bacon, and hot dogs. While they might be staples in sandwiches and barbecues, their regular consumption can notably impact blood pressure. The high sodium content in processed meats is a primary concern. As we've discussed, excessive sodium in the diet can lead to increased blood pressure by causing the body to retain more water. This extra water in the bloodstream puts additional pressure on blood vessels, leading to hypertension over time. Hypertension is a significant risk factor for heart disease and stroke. In addition to sodium, processed meats often contain preservatives, such as nitrates and nitrites, which can also affect cardiovascular health. Some research suggests a link between these additives and an increased risk of heart-related issues, although the relationship is complex and still under investigation. Given these health concerns, it's wise to limit the intake of processed meats in your diet. Opting for fresher, less processed protein sources like poultry, fish, or plant-based proteins can be a healthier choice. When you do eat processed meats, try to choose options with reduced sodium and fewer additives. At the top of our list, at number 1, is salt. Excessive salt intake is one of the primary dietary factors contributing to high blood pressure, making it a critical element to manage cardiovascular health. Salt, or sodium chloride, is necessary in small amounts for bodily functions, but its overconsumption is linked to significant health risks. The Global Burden of Diseases Study, a comprehensive research effort, has identified high sodium intake as a major risk factor for death and disability caused by cardiovascular diseases worldwide. This highlights the global impact of high salt consumption on heart health. Further emphasizing this point, the InterSalt study, which involved over 10,000 participants across 32 countries, found a clear link between salt intake and blood pressure levels. This extensive research showed that populations consuming more salt tend to have higher average blood pressure and greater increases in blood pressure as they age. These studies collectively demonstrate the importance of moderating salt intake to maintain healthy blood pressure and reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases. To manage salt consumption, it's advisable to limit processed and packaged foods, which are often high in added sodium, and be mindful of salt added in cooking. Opting for herbs and spices to flavor food can help reduce reliance on salt. That wraps up our list of the top 10 foods to avoid for maintaining healthy blood pressure. What we eat significantly influences our hypertension management. If you found these insights helpful, please show your support with a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and consider sharing this video with others who might benefit from it. We're keen to hear from you too. Feel free to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments section below. Every bit of shared knowledge and personal story can help build a supportive community focused on healthier living. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time as we continue to explore ways to enhance your health and well-being.